Did you know there is a country no bigger than South Carolina that holds the keys to 5% of global trade through a single canal? A narrow strip of land where, in just a few hours, you can watch the sun rise over the Pacific Ocean and then witness the sunset over the Atlantic. This is Panama, a tiny land with colossal power, where the extraordinary is simply ordinary. Imagine this: a nation not born from bloody wars or burning desires for independence, but from an engineering blueprint. A sketch on paper, combined with a postcard of a Nicaraguan volcano, was enough to change the destiny of an entire people. Without that choice, would Panama even exist on the world map today? But Panama is far more than its canal. This is the land where women can ask their husbands to leave the house as part of a unique marital custom, where weddings unfold on ox carts lavishly decorated like royal parades, and where villages are built from millions of discarded plastic bottles, standing as 21st century monuments of rebirth. It is a country of striking contrasts: glass skyscrapers towering beside centuries-old cobblestone streets, roaring Diablo Rojo buses painted in blazing red like demons rolling past tropical rainforests, where howler monkeys and jaguars still roam just steps from the capital. Over the next 25 minutes, you will journey with us through 15 mind-blowing facts about Panama, a small country with wonders that echo across the globe. So, are you ready? Let's begin with the very first truth. Panama, the only nation ever born from the blueprint of a canal. Number 15. Panama, a nation born from a blueprint. There is a country that was not born out of dreams of independence, nor out of the flames of war, but from a single postcard that seemed almost trivial. In 1903, when the United States sought a location to build a canal linking two oceans, Nicaragua was the leading candidate. Yet a postcard showing an erupting volcano planted fear of instability in the minds of American senators. And so, they turned to Panama, a flatland with fewer volcanoes, a safer choice. That seemingly small decision would alter the destiny of an entire nation. When the Panama Canal was completed in 1914, it instantly became the artery of global commerce, carrying nearly 5% of the world's maritime trade. One canal, a human-made creation, was enough to define the very identity of a country. This raises a profound question. Is history shaped by grand revolutions or by the tiniest of details? A postcard, a fleeting image, had the power to redraw borders and shape the lives of millions. Panama stands today not only as a product of geopolitics, but as a vivid reminder of how chance decisions can sculpt the course of humanity. And if the canal symbolizes engineering brilliance and political might, then in the next chapter, Panama's culture will reveal a completely different world, one where women hold the ultimate power. Number 14. The Matriarchal Society and the Power of Guna women. In most parts of the world, marriage begins with a man proposing to a woman. But in Panama, there are communities where it is the women who decide whether a man may stay in the family or be asked to leave. In the Guna region, a chain of islands scattered across the Caribbean, women stand at the very heart of family life. When a man wishes to marry, he does not take his bride into his home. Instead, he must move into his wife's family household. His duties extend not only to his wife, but also to her entire clan. And should he fail in those responsibilities, the wife has the authority to demand a symbolic act of redemption. The man must swim away from the island and return as a test of contrition and renewed commitment. It is an image that feels like a judgment passed down by the ocean itself, with the waves as judges and the swim as a sentence of love. This matriarchal society in Panama highlights not only the crucial role of women, but also unveils an entirely different system of values, one where marriage is built upon respect, balance, and feminine strength. It is more than a cultural curiosity. It challenges conventional Western notions of love and marriage. And if marriage here is truly a story of power and choice, then Panama's wedding celebrations reveal a vibrant spectacle of tradition, where ox carts are transformed into royal parades, painting the streets with color and heritage. Number 13. Ox cart weddings and the Manito Festival. Imagine a wedding not held in a grand cathedral or a luxury hotel, but on humble ox carts, adorned with flowers, embroidered fabrics, and ribbons, parading through the village streets like a royal procession. In the Azuero region, the Manito Festival revives Panama's ancestral customs, where marriage is more than the union of two individuals. It becomes a living portrait of the community itself. The groom rides proudly on horseback in traditional campesino attire, wearing the iconic sombrero pintao, while the bride dazzles in the hand-embroidered polera dress, crowned with intricate floral ornaments. As the ox carts roll along, their heavy wheels echo with cheers and songs, merging rustic simplicity with ceremonial grandeur. But the celebration goes even further. Villagers compete to design the most beautiful ox cart, and the highlight is the Handsome Ox Contest, where decorated bulls stride with pride, almost like models on a runway. Beneath the joyful spectacle lies a deeper meaning. These traditions are not mere entertainment, but a cultural manifesto, where the ox, the cart, and the wedding ritual symbolize the unbreakable bond between people, land, and heritage. And as the music fades, our journey shifts to an entirely different marvel. A village built from over 1 million plastic bottles, a striking testament to human creativity and resilience. Number 12. The village built from 1 million plastic bottles. Can you imagine a village not built from bricks or concrete, but from discarded plastic bottles? In Panama, what sounds like a futuristic fantasy has become a living reality. On the island of Bocas del Toro lies Plastic Bottle Village, where more than 1 million bottles once drifting in the ocean or scattered on streets have been transformed into walls, insulation, and even a 3-story castle. Founded by Canadian environmentalist Robert Bizot, this project turned what was once seen as trash into an icon of innovation, a daring step toward eco-architecture. Step inside one of the homes and you immediately feel the difference. No air conditioning needed, as the natural insulating properties of plastic keep the interior significantly cooler. In some walls, you can still see the faint outlines of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Sprite logos trapped beneath the cement, an unmistakable reminder that unless humanity changes, we may one day live within the very waste we produce. The village is more than a place to live. It is a living museum, an educational experience where visitors enter the confinement room, a chamber filled with bottles, to feel the suffocating presence of a plastic-choked world. This is not just a recycling project. It is a wake-up call to humanity about our relationship with the environment. And as we leave this extraordinary village behind, our journey takes us to Panama City, where the glittering skyline of modern glass towers coexists with the timeless charm of Casco Viejo and the wild heartbeat of a rainforest in the city's core. Number 11. Panama City, where modernity meets antiquity. Imagine a city where gleaming glass skyscrapers catch the tropical sun, only a few blocks away from cobblestone streets that have stood for centuries, where flower-covered balconies cast their shadows across colonial plazas. This is Panama City, the vibrant heart of the nation, a place defined by its striking contrasts. With over 50 towering high-rises, it boasts one of the most modern skylines in Central America. Yet right beside it lies Casco Viejo, the UNESCO-recognized Old Quarter, transporting visitors back to Spanish colonial times with ancient churches, lively plazas echoing with salsa music, and the aroma of coffee drifting through the air. Astonishingly, in the middle of this bustling metropolis lies the metropolitan rainforest, a rare urban treasure where howler monkeys, tropical birds, and even jaguars can be spotted just steps away from the city's modern towers. Here, nature is not pushed aside, but lives intertwined with the city's rhythm. This duality makes Panama City more than just an economic hub. It is proof that tradition, modernity, and nature can coexist. And as night falls, the city takes on yet another identity. Rooftop bars shimmer with lights, salsa beats from Casco Viejo fill the air, while the rainforest whispers in the dark, reminding the city of its wild soul. From historic streets to glass towers, from the rush of urban life to the breath of the jungle, Panama City is the ultimate portrait of a country where past and present, humanity and nature, merge into one continuous symphony. Number 10. Cost of living and retirement visa. Can you believe there is a place just a short flight from the United States where the cost of living is nearly 60% lower? That place is Panama, one of the world's dream destinations for those seeking comfort without the heavy price tag. Here, a fully furnished one-bedroom apartment in a safe neighborhood of Panama City rents for only $550 to $850 a month. Utilities like electricity, water, gas, and high-speed internet cost far less than in the US or Europe, while a delicious meal at a local restaurant ranges from just $3 to $7. It's no wonder Panama has been nicknamed the affordable Florida, a haven for those who crave quality of life at a fraction of the cost. Yet what truly sets Panama apart is its Pensionado visa, one of the most generous retirement programs in the world. With proof of a monthly pension of at least $1,000, you are granted long-term residency and a host of privileges, discounts on flights, hotels, healthcare, restaurants, even cinema tickets. It is not merely a residence permit. It is like a golden key opening the door to a life of ease and opportunity. Panama, then, is not just a country to visit. It is a place where many choose to begin a new chapter in their lives. And as we leave behind these compelling numbers, our journey now takes us into Panama's dazzling festivals, where the entire nation transforms into one vast open-air stage. Let us pause for a moment. After stories of canals, dazzling festivals, and numbers about cost of living, let us step back and look at Panama with different eyes. This nation feels like a double doorway, a threshold that opens not only to two oceans, but also to two worlds. On one side, modernity, with glass towers glowing in the night. On the other, tradition, with fishing villages, ox cart weddings, and indigenous rituals preserved for centuries. Panama compels us to ask, can we live between two currents without losing ourselves? While many nations struggle with rapidly aging populations, Panama opens its arms to those seeking a new chapter, a place to retire, to slow down, to embrace a different rhythm of life. Behind its peculiarities lie universal questions. Who are we? Why do we constantly reinvent ways of living? And ultimately, what will remain once we are gone? Picture this. Night falls over the Caribbean coast. Ancient ruins lie silent under a canopy of stars, or a fire ceremony deep in a remote village where silhouettes dance around glowing flames, all unfolding like a slow-motion film, inviting us to take a deep breath and reflect. In this moment, Panama is not just a country to discover, but a mirror in which we see ourselves. And from this stillness, we move forward again, toward festivals bursting with color, where life's rhythm and joy rise once more in full bloom. Number 9. the carnival and the dance of the devil. Can you imagine a small town transforming into a colossal stage where the entire community is swept into a whirlwind of music, color, and water? This is Carnival Las Tablas in Panama, one of the most vibrant festivals in Central America. For an entire week, the streets erupt with pounding drums, dazzling parades, and massive water trucks spraying cool showers onto crowds dancing in delight. Locals wear extravagant costumes, from glittering fairies shimmering in sequins to mythical figures stepping out of epic tales. Every step, every shout seems to dissolve the distance between young and old, visitors and residents alike. Yet beyond this earthly joy lies something more spiritual and dramatic: the Congo Diablos festival. Here, men don vivid devil masks and dance frenetically to the beat of drums, symbolizing the eternal struggle between darkness and light, evil and good. These dances are not only theatrical spectacles, but also ancient rituals, celebrating humanity's triumph over shadow. What makes this festival so unique is that it is both a carnival of joy and a mirror reflecting deeper truths, reminding us to ask, within each of us, does the battle between light and darkness ever truly end? And from this cacophony of joy and these mystical dances, our journey through Panama now carries us to another dazzling symbol of its culture: the legendary Diablo Rojo buses that light up the streets with their fiery spirit. Number 8. The Diablo Rojo buses. Imagine an old American school bus, once destined for the scrapyard, now reborn as a rolling mural, flashing with LED lights like a nightclub on wheels, blasting music so loud it turns an ordinary commute into a fiesta. These are the Diablo Rojo, Panama's infamous red devils of the street. What was once discarded has been resurrected by Panamanians with vivid paint, adorned with portraits of singers, mythical figures, or cultural icons, making each bus a work of art in motion. When they thunder down the streets, they are not merely public transport, but mobile celebrations where reggaeton, salsa, and folk rhythms collide, turning every ride into a sensory spectacle. And yet, amid the modernization of metro lines and electric buses, the Diablo Rojo endures, cherished as the very soul of Panama's streets. To locals, these buses embody nostalgia, freedom, and cultural pride. They remind us that the old need not disappear. It can be reborn, brighter and more defiant than ever. Still, their chaotic driving, reckless speed, and daredevil maneuvers have given them an almost cinematic reputation, like action movies roaring through city streets. And as their LED lights blaze through the night, and music rattles the aging metal frames, you realize this is not just a bus. It is a living declaration of culture. From these fiery red devils, our journey now shifts to another Panamanian treasure, the world's most expensive coffee, Geisha. Number 7. Geisha coffee, the world's most expensive brew. Can you imagine a cup of coffee that costs more than fine French wine or the famed Kobe beef? In Panama, this is reality with Geisha, a coffee hailed as the black diamond of the world. Grown on the misty hills of Bocas, Geisha offers a flavor profile that leaves even the most seasoned coffee connoisseurs astonished. Delicate jasmine aroma, bright citrus notes, and a lingering finish of honey and orchids. In 2019, some lots of Geisha were auctioned for as high as $2,500 per pound, making it the most expensive coffee on the planet. What makes such a small bean command such astronomical prices? It is not only its rarity, but also its unparalleled quality, recognized by international experts who often call Geisha the Rolls-Royce of coffee. Yet for Panamanians, Geisha is more than just an export commodity. It is a source of national pride, a way of telling the story of their fertile land, unique climate, and the tireless work of their farmers. More intriguingly, every January in Bocas, a flower and coffee festival celebrates Geisha amidst thousands of colorful blossoms, a moment where nature, people, and culture merge into one in the sweet fragrance of coffee. With each sip, you taste not only its bittersweet richness, but also the narrative of a small nation that has amazed the world. And as we leave the coffee fields behind, our journey carries us to another surprising treasure, a retirement visa program that has turned Panama into a golden haven for foreigners. Number 6, the retirement visa. A dream policy. Can you believe that with just a stable monthly income, you could enter a country and immediately be welcomed as a golden resident? In Panama, this is reality thanks to its retirement visa program, a policy CNN Travel once described as every American retiree's dream. What makes it even more extraordinary is that you don't need to be retired at all. As long as you are over 18 and can prove a monthly income of at least $1,000, you qualify. And with this visa comes a wealth of privileges: 25% off restaurant bills, 50% discounts on cinema and theater tickets, 30% off domestic and international flights, and even tax exemptions on imported cars or household goods worth up to $10,000. This is not just a residency permit. It is a lifetime membership card to a world of benefits and peace of mind. For many foreigners, especially from the United States and Europe, Panama's retirement visa has become a gateway to an entirely new life, one with mild climate, affordable costs, and a welcoming community. Yet beyond the practical advantages, it symbolizes Panama's openness to the world, transforming this small nation into a place where people come not only to rest, but to feel that they truly belong. And from this story of dreamlike policies, our journey now turns the page, leading us into Panama's legendary feats. From the Great Canal itself to the daring adventure of a man who swam across all 82 kilometers of its treacherous waters. Number 5, the daring swim across the Panama Canal. Can you believe it? One of humanity's greatest engineering marvels, the Panama Canal, where colossal ships pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in tolls, was once crossed by a man who paid only 36 cents. Not on a vessel, but with nothing more than his own arms, legs, and extraordinary endurance. That man was Richard Halliburton, an American adventurer who, in 1928, applied for a special permit to be treated as a living vessel. Weighing 140 pounds, he was charged 36 cents in canal fees. Over 10 grueling days, Halliburton swam the canal's full 82 kilometers, battling swift currents, gliding past massive cargo ships, his skin smeared with shark oil to shield him from the scorching sun. Picture the scene. A lone human figure moving steadily through waters dominated by steel giants, the mechanical thunder of cranes echoing, ship horns blasting like the roar of monsters. He swam, wrote diary entries, and sent reports to American newspapers, turning his reckless feat into a story that captivated the world. Halliburton's journey was more than daredevilry. It was a symbol, a man confronting limits, transforming the canal, a monument to power and engineering, into a personal odyssey brimming with poetry. Imagine the cinematic shot. From high above, a cargo vessel drifts through the locks, while below, a solitary speck, the human body, swims bravely in the current of history. The tale leaves behind an unsettling resonance. That sometimes greatness does not lie in the scale of the structure, but in the defiance of a single, fragile human being. And from this intimate act of courage, our journey flows onward, to a spectacle shaped not by steel and sweat, but by nature and tradition. The floating villages of Bocas del Toro. Number 4, The floating villages of Bocas del Toro. Imagine a place where homes do not rest on land, but float above turquoise waters, where you can step out onto your wooden porch, dip your feet into the sea, and watch fish dart beneath your floorboards. This is Bocas del Toro, an archipelago along Panama's Caribbean coast, where entire communities live suspended between water and sky, as though drifting in another world. Picture a morning here. The guttural roar of howler monkeys echoes from the nearby jungle as nature's alarm clock, while bright red crabs climb coconut trees, snatching fruit in a surreal reversal of roles. Life in Bocas is not only unusual, it is festive. Every year, locals celebrate the Banana Festival, an event as whimsical as it is unique. Banana peeling races, stilt runs balanced on banana trunks, and even costumes fashioned from banana peels. The result is a vibrant tableau, both humorous and deeply human. Yet beneath the spectacle lies a profound truth. Bocas del Toro is living proof that people can coexist with nature in extraordinary ways, whether in floating homes or in traditions as eccentric as they are joyful. Cinematic imagery unfolds. A drone glides over stilted wooden houses set in crystal waters. Children leap gleefully into the sea, and in the distance, misty mountains meet the Caribbean rainforest. As the sun sets, the village dissolves into the horizon, like an island adrift in the cosmos. And the haunting question remains. Perhaps it is in this very fragility, in the act of floating between uncertainty and resilience, that humanity discovers its truest strength. Number 3. Barú volcano and a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. Can you imagine, within a single day, witnessing the sunrise over the Pacific Ocean and the sunset over the Atlantic? This paradox made real is found in Panama, atop Volcán Barú, the nation's highest peak, standing proudly at over 3,400 meters. On clear days, as dawn breaks, the first rays of light shatter across the endless Pacific to the east. Then, only hours later, dusk ignites the western horizon, painting the Atlantic in a fiery farewell. The experience feels like stepping into a two-act play, opposite yet harmonious, where nature unveils its grandest performance. Panamanians believe Barú is not just a mountain, but the throne of the skies, a place where one stands between two worlds and confronts the humbling vastness of existence. To reach its summit, travelers trek through dense rainforest, pierce layers of thick fog, and finally emerge into a panoramic view where all of Panama lies beneath their feet like a living map. Cinematic imagery unfolds. A lone climber silhouetted on the summit, seas of clouds stretching endlessly, sunrise blazing on the left over the Pacific, sunset blazing on the right over the Atlantic. And a haunting question lingers. What could be more miraculous than a tiny nation granting humanity the power to embrace two oceans in a single day? From Barú, our journey now drifts toward the San Blas Islands, home to the Guna people, a cultural cosmos of its own nestled within the heart of Panama. Number 2. The San Blas Islands and the Guna people. Can you imagine an archipelago of 365 islands, enough for you to visit one every day of the year without ever repeating? This is San Blas, Panama's Caribbean jewel, where the Guna people have lived for centuries in a society almost entirely independent. Stepping onto San Blas feels like crossing into another dimension. No high-rises, no traffic noise, only thatched huts, turquoise seas, and an unblemished sky. The Guna believe women are the center of the family and the heart of their community, a matriarchal system thriving alongside the modern world. When a man marries, he moves in with his wife's family, and if he fails his duties, he may even be asked to swim away from the island as an act of penance. Yet behind these unusual customs lies a philosophy of life: to live slowly, to live closely with the sea and the forest, and to honor the role of nature in every decision. Cinematic imagery unfolds, dugout canoes drifting across crystal-clear waters, children laughing as they plunge into the sea, women wearing brilliantly embroidered mola blouses, each piece a vivid cultural mosaic against the vast ocean backdrop. San Blas is not only a paradise for travelers, but also a reminder that there are still communities choosing their own path, preserving a primordial balance between humanity and nature. And from this world apart, our journey leads us to the final flavor-filled chapter, the traditional dishes of Panama, where the essence of land and sea is served on every plate. Number 1. Panamanian cuisine. The soul in every dish. Can you truly understand a nation through the flavors of a single soup? In Panama, the answer is yes. Food here is not just sustenance, but the embodiment of history, culture, and the breath of 2 oceans. Sancocho, the traditional chicken soup simmered with yucca, cilantro, and native spices, is often called the very soul of Panamanian cuisine. A steaming bowl, humble yet profound, brings families and communities together, appearing at festivals and gatherings alike. Then comes arroz con pollo, golden rice with chicken, infused with turmeric, peppers, and herbs. A dish radiant as the tropical sun, both familiar and distinctive, echoing the Latin spirit. On the coasts, corvina frita, crispy fried sea bass served with patacones and fresh lime, offers the taste of the ocean, as crunchy and salty as the Caribbean waves themselves. And we cannot forget the little yucca fritters, stuffed with cheese or meat, crisp on the outside, yet soft within, a staple of busy yet comforting mornings. These dishes are not just meals, but stories told through taste, weaving together past and present, land and sea, indigenous traditions and European or African influences. Cinematic imagery unfolds. Steam rising from a bubbling pot of sancocho, a hand scattering herbs over it, golden plates of arroz con pollo set on a table, children laughing and running around it. Panamanian cuisine reminds us that sometimes, to understand a nation, all we need is to sit down and savor the sweetness of its daily bread. And with these flavors, our journey of 15 discoveries comes to a close, leaving us with warmth and reflection, that the greatness of a country lies not only in its monumental achievements, but in the humble dishes that nourish its people every single day. We have just journeyed through 15 astonishing discoveries about Panama, a small strip of land that holds immense paradoxes, a place that serves as a global trade artery, yet shelters matriarchal societies, explosive festivals of color, and fragile floating villages in the heart of the sea. Panama reminds us that greatness is not always defined by size, but by how people live, create, and harmonize with nature. And if a country no larger than a single U.S. state can shape global commerce, then we, as individuals, must ask ourselves, what changes can we bring to our own lives? Perhaps the answer lies in the choices we make every day. As the sun sets over the floating houses of Bocas del Toro, as the aroma of Geisha coffee lingers in the misty hills of Boquete, as carnival drums echo through the streets of Las Tablas, Panama leaves us with a lingering truth, that the extraordinary is always hidden within the ordinary. If this journey moved you, leave a comment sharing which discovery impressed you most. Hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to Fascinating Discoveries to join us in future adventures into the unknown. This journey does not end here. It is only the beginning.